CCP's farmland espionage threat. Chinese entities have purchased vast U.S. farmland near 19 military bases, raising fears of espionage and sabotage. From Texas to Florida, states like Arkansas are fighting back with laws to block foreign land ownership. Is America's national security at risk? Stay tuned for the full story. According to mainstream U.S. media, Chinese businessman Sun Guangxin has purchased 140,000 hectares of land in the Devils River area of Texas since 2016, investing in the American market and sparking widespread public concern. Sun Guangxin, reportedly the richest man in Xinjiang, China, is the chairman of Xinjiang Guanghui Group, one of China's largest auto dealership groups. The Guanghui Group, under his control, owns 5 listed companies with total assets exceeding 257.5 billion RMB and has ranked on the Fortune Global 500 for 7 consecutive years. Sun has held the title of Xinjiang's richest man for over 2 decades. Due to his business success, he has earned nicknames like King of Xinjiang, Godfather of Western Commerce, and Northwest Tiger. In fact, China has been purchasing strategically significant farmland near military installations across the U.S., raising concerns about potential espionage or sabotage by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, that could threaten national security. The New York Post reported that from Florida to Hawaii, land near 19 U.S. military bases has been bought by Chinese entities, potentially exploitable by spies working for Communist China. These include key bases like Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Fort Cavazos, formerly Fort Hood, in Killeen, Texas, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton in San Diego, California, and MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. Retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Robert S. Spalding III, who focused on U.S.-China relations, told the media, "This is concerning due to the proximity to strategic locations. These sites can be used to establish intelligence-gathering posts, and as we've seen in the past, the owners of these sites can influence local politics." Sources indicate that Chinese landowners could use farming as a cover to set up reconnaissance devices, install tracking technology, use radar and infrared scanning to monitor bases, or attempt to fly drones over bases to surveil military activities. A September 2023 Wall Street Journal report revealed that Chinese intruders have attempted to breach U.S. military facilities over 100 times in recent years, including sneaking into a missile range in New Mexico and divers being spotted near a government rocket launch site in Florida. The threat posed by the Chinese government to the U.S. is significant. The FBI has labeled it a serious threat, with former Director Christopher Wray stating in April 2024 that hackers have infiltrated critical U.S. infrastructure, waiting for the right moment to deliver a devastating blow and cause physical destruction. Morgan Lorette, a former contractor for Blackwater, raised the alarm, telling the Post, "The Chinese are, or will, use this farmland to learn more about U.S. military capabilities, movements, and technology. This will allow them to better understand how to transition their military from a defensive strategy to an expeditionary one." He added that China would observe troop movements to discern patterns and predict U.S. responses to conflicts, such as a potential invasion of Taiwan. In June 2024, Dr. Phil addressed this issue on his show, questioning then-presidential candidate Donald Trump. "I discussed a map highlighting areas in red where the government has funded the purchase of major farmland near our most strategic military bases. These include Dugway Proving Ground, which handles military equipment and biological and chemical weapons. Utah Test and Training Range, the largest supersonic restricted airspace in the U.S. Whiteman Air Force Base, home to B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, missiles, and drone operations. And Fort Liberty, focused on airborne and special operations for rapid deployment. We've allowed foreign entities to buy agricultural land and wind farms, some without blades, surrounding our military bases. You might inherit this situation, and it could worsen over the next 5 months. What will you do about it?" Trump, shaking his head, cautiously responded,
"Them to come and invest. We don't want to make it so impossible. We have to be careful. And this is a lot of land. Seems to be a lot of activity around those nuclear sites, to put it mildly."
Meanwhile, Republican Congressman Russ Fulcher has repeatedly expressed concerns about foreign entities, particularly China, purchasing U.S. land near military facilities. He strongly supports stricter scrutiny of foreign investments to protect national security. In 2023, he joined 16 Republican governors in sending a letter to the Biden administration urging federal restrictions on Chinese purchases of U.S. agricultural land. Fulcher posted on X, "Why are we allowing our top foreign adversary to purchase key American agricultural land?" Conservative-led states have also taken proactive measures. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, a Republican, declared,
"We'll ban those companies now from leasing property and owning property near our critical infrastructure, and we will shorten the amount of time a banned company has to divest from our state. We will also ban lobbying on behalf of Communist China, Russia, and other adversaries. Arkansas cities and towns won't be able to have a sister city in Communist China anymore."
In 2023, Arkansas passed Act 636, banning foreign-controlled entities, particularly those linked to the Chinese government, from owning agricultural land in the state, the first state-level law explicitly targeting Chinese land ownership. On October 17, 2023, Sanders and Attorney General Tim Griffin announced that Syngenta, a subsidiary of China's state-owned ChemChina, operating Northrop King Seed Co., must divest its 160 acres of agricultural land in Craighead County, Arkansas. Citing "Seeds Are Technology," Sanders argued that Chinese firms could use agricultural land to access U.S. agricultural technology, threatening national security. She also referenced China's 2017 National Intelligence Law, which may require Chinese citizens to cooperate with intelligence agencies. Syngenta was given 2 years to divest and fined $280,000, 25% of the land's value, for failing to report ownership to the state promptly. This marked the first instance of a U.S. state forcing a Chinese company to divest land, drawing national attention. Sanders declared on X that Arkansas was the first state to kick the CCP out of our farmland. On February 26, 2025, Sanders introduced the Communist China Defense Legislative Package, comprising 6 bills to further curb China's influence in Arkansas. Key measures include banning land purchases by foreign adversaries like China and Russia near military bases and critical infrastructure, prohibiting state universities from hosting Confucius Institutes or similar entities and investing in Chinese funds, banning sister city relationships with Chinese cities, prohibiting lobbying on behalf of China and Russia, banning state agencies from purchasing Chinese-made promotional items. Some bills, like HB 1352, have been submitted, while others are pending. Sanders stated that once signed into law, these measures would completely sever the CCP's influence in Arkansas. In Florida, the state Senate passed SB 264 on April 12, 2023, with 38 votes in favor and 0 against, including 22 Republicans and 16 Democrats. The bill passed the House on May 4, 2023, with 95 votes to 17, and was signed into law by Governor Ron DeSantis on May 8, effective July 1, 2023. Section 7 of the bill states, "Any person who is domiciled in the People's Republic of China and who is not a citizen or lawful permanent resident of the United States is restricted." The law allows property acquisition through inheritance, debt collection, or court judgments, but requires sale or transfer within 3 years, not 2, as mentioned. Compared to other countries of concern, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, Syria, Chinese citizens and entities face stricter limits, barred from purchasing any real estate in Florida, while others are restricted from buying agricultural land or properties within 10 miles of military facilities or critical infrastructure. Chinese owners who held Florida real estate before July 1, 2023, must register with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, FDSES, by January 1, 2024, or face a $1,000 daily fine and potential property confiscation. Sellers who sell to restricted Chinese buyers could face a first-degree misdemeanor, up to 1 year in prison, and civil fines. All real estate buyers must sign an affidavit confirming they are not a restricted foreign principal or face civil and criminal penalties. Illegally purchased properties will be confiscated and sold, with proceeds going to the state. Similar bills are advancing in Texas and South Carolina. The latest development shows that State Armor Action has launched a new tool to track anti-CCP legislation across the U.S. The tracker monitors 461 bills nationwide addressing the CCP threat, with 11 bills killed, 43 adopted, 25 passed in both chambers, 43 crossed over between chambers, and 339 introduced. While the China threat is traditionally seen as a federal issue, Alex Gray, former deputy assistant to the president and chief of staff of the White House National Security Council, told Fox News Digital that states must also prepare to combat China. "We will continue to follow this story. Welcome your comments and unique opinions. Thanks for your watching. We'll see you next time."